Good evening. You're watching the Chucktown Wind Report Sunday night update for November the 8th, 2015. We have a system to talk about as the National Hurricane Center has lifted the chance of development for another system. This one being called Invest 94L north of Hispaniola, heading towards the Bahamas, the west-northwest. So they've upped the chance to 70% over the nenext 48 hours and 70% for the next 5 days. The Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter aircraft will be going out tomorrow morning to take a look at this system in more detail. And they are calling for heavy rains and winds to be moving into Turks and Caicos and southeastern Bahamas. So if we look at data scope from weather flow, if we pull up on the visible map here, we can see that the sun is going down at the time and the infrared is starting to take over as it sweeps across country. But if you look just north of Grace Bay, where I have my mouse right here, you can see a very, very small vortex that has developed in the middle of what is trying to wrap some thunderstorming around it. Most of the cloud tops are remaining to the north of this small vortex and then also to the east and the southeast of it. So we'll be watching this little area as it heads to the west-northwest. It looks like it's trying to develop a surface low pressure right there at that spot. So we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow as the aircraft hunters go in and take a look at it. It is moving over some warmer waters. It has a relaxed atmosphere with no upper level shear, so it does have a very favorable environment to develop into a tropical storm. If it does develop, it will be called Kate, K-A-T-E. It's our next storm in the lineup after Joaquin that we saw not too long ago. Big, kind of a heavy-duty storm there. All right, let's take a look at the current storm information. Here we go with Invest 94L, and global hurricane models do take this away from land. There's a cold front coming across there's a low pressure with a cold front coming across the Gulf of Mexico that is poised to help pull this storm away from the coast along with some of the upper atmospheric properties, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So that's the hurricane track models that we're looking at. Let's take a look at the GFS ensembles, and these are also all in agreement with bringing the storm away from the coast. So I don't think we're going to have anything to worry about here. Let's take a look at the earth.nullschool.net for the surface winds. We'll look a little bit higher up as well. I've put the little circle over about where that low pressure is for the storm. And we can see here's that low pressure coming across the Gulf states, which is going to be bringing a lot of rain into the southeast United States. If we go higher up to 500 millibars, this is at about 18,000 feet. We're going to see a couple things here. Number one, we're going to have a split in the jet stream. Right here in the middle of the country, we have what's called a mid-level to upper-level Rex block, which we have high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south. It's causing a split in the jet stream where your polar jet is sweeping down from the north and our subtropical jet is pulling up from the south. The bottom line here is that they both converge for a west to east flow out to the ocean. So at the mid-levels and the upper levels, plus a cold front coming across, are all going to help to pull this storm away from land. So nothing to worry about there. Even if we go at the higher levels, I'll show you how the jet is really going to crank up to rip any cloud tops off for this storm, even if it comes close to land. And here we go. So we're talking about 100 to 120 knot winds going on aloft, sweeping down into the Gulf and up over the southeast United States and pulling down from the polar jet around this mid-continental Rex block at the mid and upper levels. So here's our low. There's a high pressure ridge here that is nudging it to the northwest, and then it's going to have a little bit of shear up here to the north along that boundary and then get pulled along. So that's what we're looking at there. Okay, let's take a look at the GRE. Here's the southeast region. You can see the low pressure pulling up moisture into the southeast. It's going to make for quite a bit of rain tomorrow. Some of the WPC models from NOAA are calling for about 4 to 5 inches of rain, if not more. So be on guard for tomorrow. We're looking at a soaker that could last into Tuesday as well. We go down here over north of Hispaniola over the Turks and Caicos. Here we go. We see these models are pulling it into a depression by tonight. And you can see that very small little low-level vortex just to the northwest of where that depression dot is. As we head in time, here we got a tropical storm developing by Monday. They say Monday at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then as we get into Monday, 6 p.m., we have a tropical storm. So all models are indicating that this thing could become a tropical storm Kate tomorrow. Again, not to worry about this making any landfall. It could be a wave maker for the southeast United States, but we're going to be watching this very closely. And I'll touch base back with you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.